Hey, this is the Coaching Life Podcast. I'm Chris Stewart.
I'm Pat Martin.
That's right. And you can see us. Awesome.
Can we tell how many people are viewing as opposed to listening now?
You see, this format is causing us a little bit of havoc with our data and our analytics and knowing exactly how many people are listening to our podcast now. Yeah. We never really knew exactly anyway. The only data that we have because of the app the platform that we use is Spotify. So we know we got an idea of who listens on Apple Podcasts because Spotify gives us that number, that percentage.
Right.
But the more specific data is on Spotify listeners. And so according to Spotify, people who listen to us on Spotify, we have a little over 100 listeners on Spotify, which doesn't sound like a lot, but Spotify makes up about 48%, I think, of our platform. So I don't know. We probably, I mean, we're getting 800 to 1,000 downloads per episode, I would say. And now we've opened up YouTube, of course.
Right.
And so who knows? I mean, I just
be able to see the views on YouTube, right?
Yes, we'll be able to see the views per each episode. Right. So that'll be good. But I just got out of my class for the first time this semester. And again, I asked each one of them to introduce themselves and talk about what their favorite podcast is and everything. and it's, again, YouTube. And then I did a little Mentimeter where I said, how do you access podcasts? Like, what app do you use to listen to podcasts? And Spotify and Apple are the two largest, but just as large that show, because I got them showing up as words, like, and the bigger the word, the more people that answered that. And YouTube was tied, I think, with Spotify.
Yeah,
people are watching podcasts in this generation.
Sure.
What is this generation?
I don't know.
Zoomers. They call these Zoomers.
Is it?
Z's, Generation Z.
I heard a Generation Z's joke the other day, but now I can't remember.
Uh-oh. Better be careful. We got some Z's that listen to us.
Maybe it was, no, I don't know. I can't remember what it was, but I know that you got to treat Generation Z people different. You can't treat them as if they were around in the 1900s, the early 1900s.
Dustin said something about how his daughter the other night refers to things that he likes. Like she's like, back in the late 1900s, Dad, did you listen to this music?
Well, that's accurate.
It's true. Yeah. I mean, what is it? You ever see those stats where it says we are now today in 2023 as far away from 1980 as we were from 1929 in 1980, something like that, as you look back. So I can remember 1980. I was 7 years old. I can remember
50 years.
I know.
Oh my.
It's crazy.
And my whole life.
We're old, brother.
My whole life, 1930 was medieval times.
The jazz era. It was the Great Depression, the jazz era. Cinderella Man.
Holy cow. Well, no, I thought you were going to say that one of your students said that their favorite podcast is the Coaching Life podcast. Yeah. They did a little bit of research to get on your good side.
That's right. Know what I mean? That's right. You would have thought, but no, we didn't have any of those answers. So. By the time this class is over this semester, they will at least have seen and heard the Coaching Life podcast because I will give them a little excerpt. I told them that we'll be recording right after class, so some might be peeking in here.
Empty lobby.
Look out your window there.
Yeah.
There were some comments about the college green.
There was?
After last, yes.
It is very nice.
How beautiful. It's a great view of having.
We've got a better view today.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah. Well, you got the snow out there.
Well, it looks like the full windows, and it looks like I think.
Oh yeah, maybe
a
angled little differently. Okay.
Yeah. So and again, I can't look at it anymore. You've adjusted it so that you can look out the window now instead of me. It's really the only reason I did this podcast.
Oh, where I'm sitting on this side of the studio. Yeah.
So I could
had a better view.
Take a glance at College Green every once in a while, but now that I can't, I don't really.
Since you're always working from home.
Yeah.
See, people need to. Okay, one more thing before we get into today's conversation. Unless you have something that you'd like to rant about.
I don't know.
It's not a rant. I'm gonna throw someone under the bus.
Okay.
So now that we're doing video podcasts, Coach Martin, you got to find a different shirt.
Why?
But you have a different one on today, so you're in good. You're good. It still says Megs.
Well,
I had somebody say, "Tell Pat to get a different sweatshirt."
Well, I'm not.
I think we
today.
recorded. I think we recorded what 3 or 4 video podcasts so far, and in 2 of them you're wearing that Megs
hoodie.
that Megs baseball hoodie. Yeah.
I'm cold. Nature. Actually, I did wear a different coat today to the office. So you can see here.
The office.
Yeah.
Well, what people need to understand is the reason they always see you in your sweats and your Megs shirt is because you don't work on campus. You work from home. It doesn't matter what you wear. Like
well, to an extent.
Would you wear that to work?
Not typically.
Yeah,
I would.
I mean, not that we couldn't. We could.
I usually if I'm in a meeting or something at home, even at home, I'll put on a polo.
Yeah.
Or something like that to jump into the meeting. But when I travel,
you don't go shirtless in your Zoom meetings
or pantless that they don't know. So yeah, but this is this is my wardrobe, guys. I'm this is who I am. I'm Megs.
You definitely are Megs, Mr. Megs.
Shoot, that's the only thing I have in my closet is Meg shirts. I did wear a bright orange.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that.
Bright orange shirt during the burial of the 2023 Cleveland Browns season this past weekend.
Gee, I thought we'd get through an episode without talking about the NFL.
It just happened.
Can we please not talk about the NFL this week?
Talk about the officials.
Oh, the officials didn't beat the Cowboys.
Well, they didn't beat the Browns
Gee,
either. They're just
Christmas.
horrible all around, though.
Yeah.
They're bad. Did you see the Bills Steelers game?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Did you see the fumble that they didn't rule a fumble?
Yes.
Even after replay.
Yes, after replay.
And they provided no explanation.
Yeah. That was going to be a destroy. That would have just buried Pittsburgh. Although I thought they were buried already, but they made a fight of it.
That would have ended the game. Well, they went down and scored a touchdown on that possession.
Yes, that was the end of the half, right? Toward the end of the half.
Did they do that? Yeah, I think they did.
They scored something, a field goal or
was
something.
a touchdown.
No, they did.
They
They scored a touchdown right before halftime. Yeah, but
I can't remember if that possession
It
was when they got picked off.
for sure.
Though.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
yeah.
maybe. Yeah.
I can't remember.
They ended
now.
up. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
It's just bad.
I
Like
don't-
even looking
like-
at the review, the replay.
The
is
rules
bad.
analyst guy, like they were asking him, like, what do you like Tony Romo? I don't know, Jim. What Greg? What do you see there? I mean, you tell us. And the guy's like, I guess if they said that his helmet, if it hit the helmet of the other guy, or the guy touched the guy, the guy who recovered the ball touched the guy that was out of bounds or something like that, and so it creates this kinetic chain of being out of bounds. And
Oh boy.
is that in the rules? See, and I'm fuzzy because I was watching it while we were working concessions at a junior high basketball game, and Brock had an airplane on the TV in the cafeteria there where we put our concession stand,
Cool.
and so I couldn't hear it, but I was
was going
watching
on?
it. Yeah.
No, I don't think that's what they called. But
Oh, okay. That was the only explanation that I
I don't
heard.
know. I just think knowing the situation, I feel like I have to apologize to some of the officials that calls in our area because
Yeah.
when you're getting paid the money that these NFL officials are getting paid, or NBA officials, or Major League Baseball, they're all bad. They're all bad.
And so when you have one in your youth league
And you're like,
that misses a call,
yeah, exactly.
you got to be reminded.
yeah.
They're missing a lot of calls.
I mean, these
and
guys are
making
missing
some
calls
pretty
on
decent money.
replays.
Yeah, right.
Our guys
We
don't
get
even have replay,
Yeah, we don't get the
so-
benefit of that. Oh,
I think I'm going to have to completely
Well,
keep that in mind
yeah.
as things go
yeah.
forward.
John Hanlon, Nathan Carroll, we're really sorry for anything that we ever say about officials.
I'm not sorry for anything
amateur
I say
officials,
in
so.
regards to Nathan.
Yeah, we're getting close to baseball season. We got to keep him. Of course, Nathan doesn't do any baseball games. He's softball.
He's a
guy.
softball guy. I did talk to Terry Ringer at a basketball game a couple weeks ago. He is our new assigner. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
hopefully he gives me all the guys that like Megs. I don't know if those
Yeah.
guys exist based on no, just kidding. I was just kidding. I like when Terry calls. Have you had Terry as an umpire? Home plate
Yeah.
umpire? Yeah, I like
yeah.
Terry.
Yeah, I
calling.
do too. Yep.
So,
Yep. So, well, cool. Well, you and I are heading somewhere here tomorrow.
well, hopefully. I mean, depending on the blizzard that's supposed to come that never does.
Has weather become more over sensationalized in today's
I don't think
world?
so. I think it's become less accurate. So now it's like they just say whatever they want.
It's amazing the technology we have, and
it's like too precise because
I don't know. I mean, where are they predicting 2 to 6 inches of snow?
it's like you're never
Last
surprised.
week we didn't get it.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then they're saying it again for Friday when you and I are supposed to be driving to Columbus.
I think if you really want to know, read the Farmer's Almanac, and that's
Yes.
probably the best.
And
It's
that's
gonna
the
give
way
you
it's
best.
always been, right?
Yeah, right.
I'm distracted because there's a squirrel running around on this tree right behind you.
See,
and it
Coach, you
keeps,
just, I mean,
it
that's,
keeps showing up.
Hey,
in my,
listen,
in my
everyone
line of
thought
view.
my job on the podcast was easy, but that's the kind of distraction that you got to.
Oh, is that what you were looking at out the window?
Side.
Squirrels? Is that what you? Is that
On
what
that-
you? Is that
on
what you were
side-
seeing in
on-
the spring? The,
on-
the 75-degree spring days, the squirrels running
on
around.
that side of the room, it's hard. There's a lot of things going on out there.
There is.
There's a lot of kids on campus.
Every time
today.
a class changed, yeah.
Kids,
it's
okay? Is it
official.
okay if I say kids? A lot of students.
A lot of men and women out here.
Yeah.
Students.
I forgot
That's right.
when I came uptown to park, and
Spaces
there weren't
are
as
limited
many,
right
yeah,
now.
there were limited spaces. So, but I did find a spot on the corner over there, so that was good. But
Yeah.
we're gonna be heading somewhere. I think I'm gonna go Thursday or tomorrow night after our game. You know what would be interesting is if it did snow and our game got canceled, and then I would have a huge decision to make because I'm disappointed that I don't get to go up on Thursday evening. The first year that I went with you and
Well, you're talking about, because we haven't even said where we're going
oh,
yet.
that's true, yeah, the Ohio High School Baseball Coaches Association State Clinic.
Yeah.
There you go.
One of my favorite weeks of the year.
It's great.
One of my favorite weeks of the year.
It's really neat, really good time. I didn't get to go last year because my mom was in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
That was during that time, but my first year was a great experience. And that Thursday evening was my hand.
Just jam packed.
I couldn't move my hand for the next 3 days because I was writing so ferociously and quickly on my notepad. But yeah, that's where we'll be heading. You'll be going up earlier than I will. At least that's the plan.
Yeah, I
right
like
now.
to take off early afternoon and get there. They used to run. They used to have all of the this year's Hall of Fame coaches that are being inducted into the high school Hall of Fame for Ohio give speeches, and all the way up to last year. Like each one of them gave a speech, and it kind of looks like looking at the agenda that they're doing a round table this year, like they're all going to be sitting on the stage, and then you just ask questions and let them speak. They may have done it that way last year. Actually, come to think of it, my years are getting because
I don't think the first year. I don't think I made it up. I think I was just when they started to just at the clinic welcome.
that's the. Yeah, I mean, they used to do like that Hall of Fame thing, like the Hall of Fame speakers. They used to. That was the first, like they would do that before the main welcome.
Yeah.
Because
I
the
like
main
that
welcome's
roundtable
like early
discussion
evening,
idea,
at 4:00, 4:30, something like that. They'll say, hey, this is our first official speaker. And then it starts getting, then you start getting the guys that are, big time college coaches or professionals even.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, rewind. I actually prefer to listen to those high school coaches.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I wonder if anyone geeks out as much as you and I on just the opportunity to listen to a question and answer period with those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just
Well,
awesome.
these are people that their feet are on the same ground that yours and mine are.
True.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
and that's, I put this in my evaluation every year. I hope we're going to have to promote this particular episode and maybe hashtag OHSBCA webmaster and see if we get some listens, because I put this on my evaluation every year at the OHSBCA. Also, I've done this at the ABCA, the American Baseball Coaches Association Conference. And that is, I love, it's great hearing from these professional coaches, and these college coaches who have, tremendous programs, but there's something else that all these guys have as well. and that is tremendous resources.
Sure.
Tremendous people to choose from, right? You're selecting the athletes that you want to come to you. You can work out with them on a full-sized football field indoors, and you have multiple cages, and you have so many resources that I don't have.
Yep.
And so what I have said every year is I would love to have either a main session or even breakout sessions, right? Of somebody in my context, D4 school in a rural town who has to trek out in your boots in the snow and hit in your cage in the 23-degree weather, right? Because you never had an indoor cage. We happen to hang one in the gym, and so now we do. But now we're we have to adjust around basketball schedules and all kinds of other school schedules and things like that. So we're very limited. So how do you navigate those things? And I would love to hear more. In fact, I have actually set individual meetings with some guys coming up this week to do that just to sit down and pick their brain. I want to learn from you. Like I'm going to sit with Chris Veit, Coach Veit from White Oak, and as well as Coach Combs from Paint Valley, two guys that have been around a long time. In fact, Coach Veit is being inducted. He's one of the Hall of Fame guys this year. But guys that have been around for a long time, have done it for a long time in a school about the size of where I'm at right now.
Sure.
Similar resources. Coach Veit's situation's a little different. They don't have a football team at White Oak, and so their fall sports are, they cross country, I think, is what they play in the fall, and I'm not sure if they have another boys sport in the fall. So
interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think baseball has been their premier sport for a while.
They've definitely been good.
They are
at
good.
So. No, I agree with you on that. I wouldn't, not to say we wouldn't want to hear from those college coaches at all.
Because absolutely.
That's where you
love hearing from them.
I agree with you. I would like to, just sit in on a discussion or be a part of a discussion with, just like you said, guys that's been successful at the high school level. Mm-hmm. Because it is different.
And that's why I think the networking, that's why some of the most memorable times at these clinics is the networking that takes place between coaches. And, we have people on our, who listen to our podcast and have been on our podcast from other sports, football and basketball. And I've talked to football coaches about their state clinic as well, and I've asked Ryan Adams before in the past, like, what's it like? Have you talked to anybody about it? Yeah.
Well, what's been your general response?
Some of them don't even go.
Yeah. It's not,
the camaraderie just isn't there between football coaches.
I feel like the baseball clinic is much bigger.
It's undoubtedly bigger.
Much more. Yeah. Well, yeah. So those things. Yeah. It's a bigger talk within baseball coaches than it is within basketball coaches or football coaches.
Yeah, it's an anticipated.
Which I was surprised because I asked after my first year of baseball. I asked about the basketball clinic, and it was like, no, we don't go very often, or no, I don't go.
I can't imagine I've been to it before. No, I look forward to it.
Yeah.
I mean, I kept getting on in October trying to register, and registration doesn't open until November.
Well, it's the same thing we've always talked about, and it's kind of the basis of us doing this podcast is to give people a resource, and we talk about it all. We throw resources out. These are the books we read. These are the channels we watch. These are the people we listen to.
This is the strategy that we use.
Exactly.
I mean, we've even gone to that. I mean, there is no secret, really.
No. There isn't.
To baseball.
No. Yeah. But I think, and when you say strategy, the overarching strategy is finding and learning as much as you can, and it's just
becoming the best
great opportunity.
You can be.
And I want to go to the national clinic once too. I know you did a couple years ago, right?
Yeah, I went to Chicago, and I was wanting to go this year. I didn't.
It was in Vegas this year, right?
It was in Dallas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
it was in Vegas last year.
It was in Nashville last year.
I don't know what I'm thinking.
I was doing a wedding last year, and then this particular year, just a couple weeks ago, it was in Dallas, and I actually was. I mean, April, she wanted me to go. I mean, she said, and I had the Dallas flights in Hopper ready. The Hopper was telling me, the flight's cheap now. Go ahead and get it. But we had just gone on the cruise, and they're just. I don't know. I just bought a truck. We just bought a Bronco. We just. Like, okay, I don't have to go to this. Yeah. I mean, because as soon as this clinic is over, I'm still a member of OHSBCA, or ABCA?
NSBC.
ABCA. Well, there's an NS also. It's not nearly as big as ABCA.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
ABCA
Okay,
you're talking 10,000 people at these conferences.
when we signed up for the clinic this year, the state clinic, we became a member of the NHSBCA.
The OHSBCA and the NHSBCA, National High School Baseball Coach. Those are linked. And Coach Saunders actually is a board member, I think, in the NHSBCA. He pushes that, for guys to.
But good. I interrupted you. Good.
No,
what you said, what you're about to say about the being a member of the ABCA.
Yes, coaches. If you're a baseball coach, you need to become. Just pay the $75 a year and become a member, because even if you don't go to their conference, you get all of the video library that you can watch after the conference is over, and not just this year's video library. You get the archive of every session that they've ever had at that they've ever videoed at the ABCA. And I tell you what, you talk about sitting at home and if you got a snow day or something like that, I don't get snow days, but you got the opportunity
to just listen to them whenever you can.
Yeah, yeah. And
anytime you get to listen to them,
wow.
Listen to them.
The resources that you have as a baseball coach at your fingertips is tremendous.
Yep.
And going back to the OHSBCA, the greatest resource that I find is just the relationships and the interaction and just the Q&A that you get to have with other coaches, and seeing some guys in a different context than what you see them
across the field in the other dugout. Yeah, for sure.
As opponents, they're not opponents when you're there.
No,
as much as of a rival that you have, like even Coach Wickline and I will chat it up a little bit at the ABC. I like Kyle. He and I get along well, but there's no secrets. It's, Southern and Eastern are rivals, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Megs
and it's going to be those are going to be some games this year.
You're not kidding. Our whole conference.
It's going to be good.
Our whole conference is stacked.
It's going to be really good. Yeah.
What's your conference look like? What are you thinking as you think ahead? Like, I'm not obviously going to ask you predictions or anything like that. But
I think it's going to be. I think there's going to be 3 or 4 teams that. Yeah.
Athens returns all their pitching.
Athens.
Not Landon. they're number one graduated.
Athens, they can just hit the cover off the baseball. They can just flat out hit.
Yeah.
They're going to have a lineup from bottom to top.
They were young last year. Aside from Wheatley and a couple other guys, they were pretty young.
Yeah. So they're going to be good. Wellston returns Logan Martin and
they can hit.
Briggs. And Wellston can hit. Always well coached. Alexander was young last year, and the first half of their season was not good.
You could see them.
Coach Miles and his staff did a great job of getting those guys on track. They beat us. They beat us 5-1 out of Alex last year.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that was I think that was our last TVC game. They beat us 5-1.
Okay.
Heading into the tournament.
You had already clinched it. And
we had already clinched.
Were you sitting guys? Were you doing the Browns thing?
Absolutely not. No, we didn't have any injury concerns. They just the Jordan kid pitched pitched a gym, and he'd been doing it quite often the second half of the season. So I think they have a shot to win the league, to definitely be there to compete. So, and then I think this is going to be Vinton County. Vinton County's had a lot of young kids last year. They've had young kids last couple of years that I think is going to be coming up and being good. And I don't know much about Nelsonville. I think Nelsonville lost quite a bit, but
wasn't 2 years ago that they had a big win at the end of the season
against us.
Yeah, that's right. It was you guys.
2. They beat both first place TVC teams is what they did.
You and Wellston.
We were in first place with 1 loss.
Yeah.
Wellston had 2 at the time. Yes. And Nelsonville
if they had
came
just
2 Megs.
won that Nelsonville York game, they would have tied in first place with you guys, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Nelsonville beat us, and then to tie us with the Wellston. So it was going to be a co.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember if they played in Wellston or Wellston went to Nelsonville, but then they ended up beating Wellston as well. So,
I tell you, man, it's fascinating to me because you look around these leagues in other sports, and you see, some teams are down, some teams are up, and then you think about our sport. You think about, I think about baseball. I'm like,
It's always tough.
It's going to be tough. Yeah, I don't.
Well,
The parity is
the
is
team
incredible.
that I forgot in there is River Valley, and
Yeah,
I don't know why. I mean, we haven't had an easy game against River Valley.
they have dogs.
They do.
I mean,
They're dogs.
Yes,
And I think they have a good young core group of kids right now that are very talented.
Blue collar dogs. Just get out and play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's there's no easy wins on that TVC baseball schedule.
No, either side, Hocking or Ohio. That's for sure.
Can we talk rumors on
We're
this?
promoting our conference here. It's a great
good
TVC
conference.
Listen, and I'll tell you how you can tell. When it gets to tournament time, look at how many TVC teams were in it last year.
Yeah.
For one, like on the Hocking side, there was us, Trimble, Wellston, Southern, all vying for a district opportunity. I mean, it's people talk SOC, they talk some of these other conferences, which I don't want to take anything away from them. They're fantastic sports conferences, right? But the TVC has been coming to be one of those top conferences as well. We don't get the recognition down here that I think we should, because particularly in baseball.
Yeah.
Baseball is tough.
I think
it's tough. You
that's been true
earn
for a
every
long
game
time.
that you earn, every conference championship that you win.
And not only that, but I think the Hocking is going to be very, very tough this year. And that's across the board. Not just saying, a tough division to win, but I think it's going to be competitive, very competitive with the Ohio division, which in the past traditionally Ohio division they have bigger schools.
You would assume
but
that
the programs in the Hocking right now are very, very strong.
They are. They're strong, and they were. Most of the teams were young, and they return a lot. Trimble didn't graduate anybody.
No, Trimble's going to be good. Belpry's going to be
Southern's
good.
bringing back 1 and 2.
Southern Eastern Waterford's going to be tough.
One.
They were young.
We did. Now we still graduated 5 guys. We actually lost more than a lot.
Yes.
But we were young
Yes.
as well. Belpry, I think, lost some pretty key components, but man, they bring their ace back, the Copen kid.
Yep.
And he's strong.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah, I think it's just like I said.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah.
So that makes it fun.
Yeah, it does. It does. So.
I also heard a rumor.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if I should say it. I guess
Talk
I'm
about
allowed.
rumors on the.
It's publicized.
Am I going to need this? Oh, so it's publicized. So it's now news.
It's not news. It's
a publicized rumor.
I've heard the TVC might get a team.
An additional team. Mm-hmm. Which side? Ohio or
the Ohio? Yeah.
Well, if I had to guess, I would say it's going to be Warren.
Ooh.
Although I think Warren has tried to get back in, and the TVC voted him down recently.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't mind having Warren in the conference, but no, that's not the team I'm talking about. This is Oak Hill.
Oh.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
that does.
I think so. People were asking me, like,
fit.
would you be against it? I'm like,
I bet Oak Hill would like it.
I don't have a lot of long-standing experience with Oak Hill, but I know the last couple of years we went there, and like I think their facilities are good. It's not that much. It's not that long of a drive.
For you, yeah.
For us, it's about
long drive for.
Athens would be a little bit longer, would it?
Well, not really. No, Athens would be shorter.
Oh no, yeah, because it's Wellston.
So you guys might have the longest in the league, the longest drive to Oak Hill.
Really? So it's not that bad at all. It's not. Yeah. It's a Wellston trip. But I like their facilities, and we've had some good games with them. Their coaching staff's a bunch of good games, even though they recently lost their head coach there, Coach Wright.
Yeah, lost a legend, didn't they?
They did.
Lost a legend. Well, Meg's grad.
He should be.
Somebody asked me if we were going to do the old four-man Meg's grad round robin again.
Only 3-man.
And I said no. It was a 1-year deal, man. That was it.
And then if I lose in that again, it might end up just being a Stewart thing.
Stewart.
So
our game was exciting. The Stewart game was pretty exciting. My brother about got tossed.
Both of you guys arguing
my
with
brother
the umpires.
and his fans and my parents. No, actually, my parents were pretty. They weren't neutral. We'll say that. They were definitely not neutral. They were Fisher Catholic all the way. Well, their grandson was playing.
That's true.
Yeah. You got to root for your grandson.
That's true.
Yeah, and so I'm okay with that. Absolutely. But they didn't get involved in the that was a terrible call at the plate. I think there was something.
Were the umpires getting on the fans then?
No, the umpires didn't get on the fans. No, it was just the fans getting on the umpires.
Oh,
that's the way it works, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Umpires shouldn't worry about fans.
Nope. That's right. Here we are talking about officials again.
Yeah. Yeah, don't worry about those guys.
That's right.
They're just there.
Keep it keep it on the
things
field.
fun.
That's right.
Is there something? Is it on Thursday night? Is there a clinic or a session that you're particularly looking forward to?
I typically by this time have looked at the clinic agenda and highlighted the ones that I particularly really want to see, really want to listen to. And I confess, I have not done that.
Yeah, you don't
I've not done that this year.
Especially on Thursday, because on Thursday you can listen to them all.
I'm going to, yeah, they're not,
after
it's not
another.
workshops and breakout sessions.
Right.
It's main sessions. Now, yeah, I don't listen to them all. Like I do pick out a time because they're back to back to back to back to back. And
yes, we got to go eat, don't we?
You got to go to BD's.
That's
Mongolian
I was
Grill.
going to ask you if you're going to the Mongolia Grill.
That's right.
You and Coach Huffman and Coach Buckley.
But again, that's
there.
one that to me that time is we might spend an hour and a half sitting there and doing that and missing a session. But you know what we're eating with other coaches as well. Our coaching staff, other coaches. Last year we sat with Coach Wright and Coach Corvin. I would love to. If you guys are listening, I'd love to connect with you again. For lunch, for dinner. Coach Blair Dimitrioulis. I can't ever say his last name. I'm butchering your last name, Blair. Sorry. Coach at Coal Grove. We connected with him a couple years ago at the clinic, and real
Awesome.
like-minded guy, just a good dude. New father, just had a baby this year, and so he's always just a real positive guy to hang out with. And and the first time I connected with him was at this clinic.
Yep.
And I'm looking for we haven't played Coal Grove. We got them on the schedule 2 years ago, but it was the snow day. It was the snow game.
Opening day.
Yeah, or something. Yeah, we couldn't. And we tried to scrimmage, I think, last year and got canceled again. But
yeah.
But look forward to seeing him. Look forward to seeing a lot of guys that you just don't get to see. And I'm going to miss not seeing guys that you used to see all the time as well. Like I'm becoming one of the older guys now. I was looking at the list of our Southeast District coaches, and it's a young list, man. It's a young list, and even though I've not been coaching for 20 years, this is my 8th year, or I've been in it for 8 years as a head coach. It's wild because I'm probably one of the veterans now in terms of our.
You're just old.
I am just old. Just old. So yeah.
Oh, shoot, that's good stuff. Well, I mean, I just wanted to give everyone an idea of the kind of thing because we're talking about it and saying, "Oh, it's so great."
You got the agenda pulled up?
I do.
Cool.
Yep. So one of the things I don't know, a lot of people out there listening knows what a quality at bat is.
Oh yeah, but, Steve Springer's going to be
Steve
there.
Springer.
Yeah.
Steve Springer. Going to talk about quality at bats, the mental side.
Yes.
Of hitting, and quality at bat can be
it's everything.
It's everything. It's any production. It's any type of production, and sometimes that doesn't even result in I guess I would say a positive
for
offensive
you
play, but it is positive.
Positive
because,
for you individually.
Example,
like you might not end up on base.
But you might not even move a runner.
You might not move a runner
because we give credit for well hit balls, right?
Yeah.
So if you barrel a ball up, hit that thing in a gap, or just give it a big daddy hack swing on it and crush it, and it goes line drive left fielder, line drive third baseman, hard hit ball. And why?
And which is important to us. The stat that everybody sees in the media is
batting average,
fly out.
Yes, or line
fly
out. Yeah,
line out.
So you're 0-1
batting average. Yeah, 0-1. 0 for 1.
0 for 1. 0% batting average. Zero.
Right.
But
right.
You're hitting 1,000 from a quality bat perspective, and then the idea behind that is if you hit the ball like that all the time, the batting average will take care of itself.
Probability is they're gonna drop.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So you want to reward things like that, and it's still a result based system, but it takes it's a different metric.
It is, and it does have a lot of the money ball, data in it as well, like moving runners. Getting on base is the most important thing.
Yep.
Regardless of how you get on base, there are a number of ways to get on base. And so that's it. So Coach Springer is going to be talking about that on Thursday night. What else we got?
Well, I mean, I can go down the list, but Coach
What
Mongaro,
sticks out to you?
Coach Mongaro, detailed catch and
Trent
play
Mongaro.
routine.
Is it Mongaro?
I thought it was Mongaro.
Now, there's a high school coach.
Yep.
I mean, his context is different than ours. I think he's in
Right.
Georgia, right?
Yep. Detailed catch play routine.
Yes. I'm
coaches.
really excited about this.
Yeah, no doubt. But youth coaches like, what do I work on? You know,
I know.
Coach said, "What do I work on?" Throwing and catching the ball. Yeah. What else?
Let's go deeper, man. Yeah, give me some of the stuff that you guys do.
Throwing
right?
and catching the ball. And by the way, do it on the run.
Yep.
Do it from your knees. Do it laying
have
down.
Have them run around in a circle.
Yeah,
do
it all different kinds of ways and have them throw and catch if you want them to be better throwers and catchers. You know, but so yeah, that's. I mean, like I said, don't know if I'm going to be able to be there for that, but yeah, I would love to hear.
Think about that. Stay on that. Like, we have to structure. In my mind, I'm seeing guys like, you know, jump up in the air and throw while they're falling down.
Sure.
Right? We have to actually structure that into our practices now. And you and I did that with tennis balls out in the yard, throwing the ball up on the roof and then making sure we can get back up fast enough to run over there and catch it before it comes down off the roof. Did you ever play games like that?
Yeah, and that's reaction training, what you're talking about there.
It is.
But it's so funny that, you know, a lot of the things that we see individual instructors for, individual strength trainers, speed trainers, I mean, the reason that those are so popular these days is because our kids aren't going out and doing these things on their own like they used to.
Yeah.
You know, they're not.
And neither are adults.
Well, sure. No,
it's funny you say that because I just can't. This morning, I did one of my iFit hikes today. We're going up the side of the Matterhorn is what we're doing.
Yeah.
And so the trainer that's leading the way, it was actually explaining that. He was saying, you know, because you're seeing this video and you're passing all these people that are coming down off the mountain, you know, they're out hiking and everything. And he was talking about how people in these European countries, like over there, it's like, to be quite honest, like you're seeing kids out here walking around, you know, young, old, you know, their bodies are like, this is their fun activity. This is what they do, you know? And so they don't necessarily need, like, they don't consider this training. Like they're just doing this because it's a fun hobby, but they are training, you know, and it's just their life. The reason why we have to purchase iFit and a treadmill and do purposeful, you know, focused, deliberate training is because we sit on our butts a lot.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, you're right.
We do this a lot.
Yeah.
Adults and kids.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, throw and catch. That's going to be good.
It's going to be good stuff. Yeah. We got something?
No, I was just going to say, hopefully you can make it. I don't want your game to get canceled, but this is you can coach another basketball game next week, but there's not going to be another clinic next week.
Yeah, but the week after that, I'm going to be on a boat that's sinking. You forgot that.
Mm-hmm.
Friday. All right, we're seeing videos. I'm looking forward to a couple. I was looking one. Mike Grady.
Where's he from?
Grady's Pitching School.
Okay, an instructor.
Yeah, he's an instructor. He's going to be talking about throw more strikes, train, and teach command. I was interested in that. And then, you know, we
will be sending someone to that. Is that a workshop or is that a main session?
It's a mini clinic. Yeah. And here's another mini clinic that I'm really interested in. Coach C from Ohio State.
Andrew.
Catching drills, practice to game. So, you know, drills that translate, you know, in a game. And I think that's, in my experience, catching development is something that is easy to put on the back burner in practices. You know, a lot of times they're catching infield. You know, they're
catching bullpens.
Right? But when you catch a bullpen, your coach is normally, right. It's like, okay, what pitcher are you going to throw next? Pitcher, you know, where's your arm slot on this pitcher? They're not, you know, there's not a lot of focus.
We're not telling the pitcher, hey, throw a curveball in the dirt here to try to get him some work.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, he's not getting the work. He's getting some work. He's receiving is the most important thing as a catcher.
Right.
So you're getting work.
Learned that at the clinic a couple years ago.
But the stuff that you have to do, the work that you have to be deliberate about getting in is,
for sure,
those drills that you're going to need.
But it's just all kinds of stuff like that. Infield drills that transfer. Coach Harrison from Baldwin Wallace University. You know, that's something that, you know, especially right now, infield drills, and when you start in the winter, you know, things that you can do to get your infielders ready for the season, you know, anything like that. I mean, it's just really, for a coach, it's just you sit down and you're just writing notes, you know. So
you ever take out your phone and just you
that
get
would
behind
be the best
and you start
way to
recording?
do it, honestly, to record. That's the way you should do it.
Taking pictures of the PowerPoint slides and things like that. Yeah.
But you know, the most difficult part about that, and you actually told me this the first time I went, was deciding what you're going to implement,
Yeah.
because you can't implement it all. I mean,
Yeah.
you would be,
Well, even if
it would be paralysis by analysis
Yeah.
situation.
even when you do that, even when you record, you got to go back and sit down and listen again, and you're still going to get overwhelmed, right? And because now now that I'm back, now I'm wanting to plan for my season and implement. What am I going to implement? And so that's it's tough. Yeah, I have learned to not try to take down everything that's being said. I've learned to, when something is said that I know I want to remember, I'll go ahead and focus on making sure I get that down, or focus on listening to him finish his thought so that I can regurgitate it through my pen and get it down on my notes. That way, when I come home from these clinics now, instead of having 20 pages of notes, front to back, now I've got some bullet points of things that I know I'm actually going to use. Yeah,
that's good stuff.
One of the lessons of going and learning lessons. Yeah. What else? I'm excited. Some of these I didn't realize. I hadn't, like I said, I haven't read through. I saw the Saturday list, and I don't usually stay for Saturday.
Right.
I was looking at it yesterday. I think they tweeted out a photo of the sessions on Saturday. And I don't know if they're restructuring this thing differently, trying to get guys to stick around on Saturday who didn't. Because it used to be Saturday, you had all your requirements for your certificate, your CPR. You could get it all done there. Oh. But now everybody does. It's all, coach's tool chest and all that and everything now. And you can get a lot of that stuff done online. They have you do a lot of it online. So I think now they're putting these kinds of sessions in that are still part. I mean, Saturday looks a lot like Thursday. Yeah. In terms of the session quality.
Shoot, I lost it.
So I might actually drive back up Saturday. I'm not staying the night, but I might just drive back up again Saturday and
Why wouldn't you
take
stay?
in some of these.
Coach Huffman, Coach
Buddy,
Huffman,
because
Coach
I now drive a hybrid. My truck is a hybrid, and I can get 45 miles per gallon instead of paying $200 for another night at the hotel, and listen to something on my way there and back again, and learn from it. So.
I lost the.
You lost the link.
Lost the agenda. There's Coach Noble in the director's picture.
Yeah.
No, I saw the
Coach Noble's another one of those coaches from Waverly. I'm not sure how many years he's been at it, but he has been coaching that particular team for a long time. I know, a long time, and so he's a Division II school. He'd be a good connection, like for you. Like I was talking about wanting to sit down with guys that are in my context, small school. Waverly's very similar in size, and they've been back and forth between 3 and 2, like you guys have. Over the years,
and you can tell he's been around for a long time just by the amount of respect.
Yes,
and
the respect that people have for him, and the respect that he has for other people as well, other coaches. Yeah, I really appreciate Coach Noble.
Here we go.
All right.
PFP, practice organization. Yeah. Pitcher fielding practice.
Yeah. That's one of the Saturday sessions, isn't it?
That's Saturday session.
Yeah.
Coach Allen from Ohio State.
Yeah. I mean, that's Coach Allen from Ohio State leading that. But he's going to teach us something that can easily be translated in high school. I guarantee it. Because I saw Coach Strickland do this several years ago. The PFP drill that I have, I stole that from Coach Strickland at one of these clinics. And we do it constantly. I mean, I don't just say we do it every year. We do it every day. I mean, that is a constant drill.
Yep.
And still do it. We've modified, we've adjusted a little bit, just added a couple different things to it.
Rearranged.
Really
I like to change the
mix
double
up the
play on the second and the short to get the shortstop back. I can't really remember what the order
because
is, once in a while we do it because the shortstop comes to make a play and then he's got to get right back and come.
There's
a
1-6-3 and then a 6-4-3.
Yes.
I got the. I can tell you what that is probably right now. I haven't done it in a year.
You can tell me the list.
Yeah.
I haven't memorized it yet. We always keep my
3-1, 5-3, 1-6-3, 6-4-3, 1-5, 4-6-3. 1-3, the comebacker, 1-3 comebacker,
5-3
2-3, 3-6-1, 5-3 on the run, pop up.
There you go.
9 of them.
So you
got it.
You recall it by memory. Are you the one always hitting that? And,
Yeah.
Yeah. Coach Taylor, Ohio State team defensive drills.
Yeah. I think the new head coach at Ohio State is one of the main speakers on Thursday also. He was fantastic last year. I cannot remember his name. But he was good. He was a good speaker.
Oh,
he was
Thursday.
energetic. Yeah.
Sorry.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe I was looking at last year's agenda.
West Virginia's coach is going to be there, Coach Mazey.
Okay.
He's talking old school versus new school.
That'll be interesting. That'll be interesting.
Coach, I don't know how to say his last name either.
Italian?
Mazziello.
Yeah, I think Ohio State's coach. Yeah, I think he had that topic last year. Or if he didn't have that topic,
Old school versus new school.
If he didn't have that topic, that's what he talked about.
Interesting.
Because he is an old school guy.
So his topic this year is the team.
Okay.
Right, and there there's other topics like that you run into. So
right,
it's just I don't know. It's just a plethora of information that
It is.
It is. Pitching philosophy, competitive practices. Coach Mead from Walsh University is going to talk about competitive practices on Friday.
He'll have his shin guards on.
Really?
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, he wears. Yeah, he's a catcher guy. And so he's always wearing shin guards.
Always wearing his equipment.
He's like catchers wear their equipment. That's right.
Optimizing reps and
their catchers are good.
Olentangy Orange, Coach Marker. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm interested in Youngstown State's coach Bunnell, swing less, hit more. I have a
swing less, hit more.
I think
is there a paragraph?
There isn't, and that's why
When is that?
That's Friday early.
Okay. Is that a main session?
9. Yeah. Well, no, it's a mini clinic.
Okay.
Yeah. I think. I don't know. You
think he's coming at it from the philosophy of making sure that you only swing at your pitch?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
you have that one favorite pitch. Don't swing unless you see that one. And Mike Trout's philosophy is kind of that.
Yeah. And I don't know. I don't think I support that.
Oh, you got to go to that one then. And you got.
I won't be there.
You got to sit in the front. And when he says, "Are there any questions?" You got to be the question guy.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. We'll see.
You're not going to be there.
I won't be. I'll be there, but I actually have to step out after our district meeting.
You have a work meeting.
Yes.
You're not taking the day off
from 10 to 11.
I forgot from last week. You said you have no days off.
Right.
The university will shut down unless you take this meeting.
Yes, we wouldn't have this podcast studio if it wasn't for me.
Wait a minute. That's on my side of the thing.
I know, but just everything would
That's
shut
right.
down.
We wouldn't be able to put the data out. Like you'd never hear anything.
You'd never get it.
We just come in here and sit.
I think you're handling that too.
Talk.
We're not on the university's network right now, are we? We're using anything on the network
currently, like as we record.
Yeah, we're not. No. So
it's
you're
always
good.
mine when I get home. Yeah, that's right.
There you go. It's all Coach Stewart. That's why I call him Coach, and he calls me Pat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I might not be able to be there. I have a meeting that I have to attend.
Can you change your background? Can you put your polo on and sit in the session with your laptop out?
No, because I have to
change your background. Oh, you actually are presenting in this.
Well, I won't be presenting.
Like I'm not recommending that people do that, right?
It'll be a discussion where I'm taking part in a career development program. Okay. So I'm co-facilitating it with my supervisor, and it's built around presentations, discussions, feedback, things like that. So interaction, participation is pretty important.
So what happens when you climb the ladder, folks? You got to do more things you have to do and less of the things you want to do.
That's true. Hopefully next year.
Ideally, you merge those two worlds and you're doing the things that you have to do or the things that you want to do, right? Ideally, we would love to all. Would you love to have like for example, do you think that that's the way a professional athlete thinks?
No, I don't.
This is what I want to do.
I think professional athletes.
I mean, obviously, it's what they want to do, but
Well, I think by and large, the sport is ruined for them
by the time they get to where they are.
Yeah. Because it's
for
a
handful, for a small few.
I think that's
they eat it up. Like for a small few, like that's what they lived for.
Yeah.
Like, the Tom Brady types, right? Like this is like the job of it is the beauty of it for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? But you hear so many people talk about how it is different. Like it's not the sport that they grew up loving.
Right.
It's different. They're good at it still, and they're growing in it, and they're entertaining us, but it's different.
Yeah. And plus, it's hard. Jobs are difficult. You got a bunch of students out there trying to figure out what they're going to do with the rest of their life, and I think that's a very daunting.
It is.
Challenge that they're putting on themselves. I don't know if you can do that. I think
right.
The advice that I would give students is you work to live.
Yes, and work hard. When you work hard and you are successful in something that you're working hard at, making money, then you're going to earn more freedom to do the things that you want to do.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And so if you do choose to do something that is not your dream job,
but yeah,
you could still fulfill some of your dreams as long as you work really hard and you're passionate about fulfilling.
Sure, but I think a dream, what you think your dream job is, might not actually be your dream job
once you get in it.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying about professional athletes.
It's like it's a crapshoot almost. Yeah. I do think you can have a lot of passion and love and enjoyment for the job that you have.
Oh yeah,
I think you could find that in jobs that maybe you
that's
didn't
the be where your feet are concept.
Absolutely.
Right? Or
sure.
Lifestyle.
Yeah.
Is understanding that. I don't try to go find your passion. Where are you right now? Bring your passion to that place.
Yes. Good word, Coach. So I don't know how we got off on that.
Do we have any, I don't know, talking about so many different topics here with this clinic. Do we have any, so you mentioned a couple of high school coaches, like the thing that I said at the beginning about how I put on my evaluations that I wish we had more high school
There's not many
sessions. I heard Coach Marker, who is a high school coach at Olentangy Orange, which is a Division I school who has facilities better than some colleges. So that's not relevant to me, right? I mean, granted, Coach Marker's a great guy. Olentangy Orange is a high school, it's legit, but it's not. It just isn't. That's not the things that he's able to do right now in January. We're not able to do.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
yeah. I think
I'm
from
not
an
bemoaning that.
No,
I'm just saying,
you're not. I know you're not. I would hope no one out there thinks that's what we're talking about. There's obviously things that all of these coaches. I mean, this is how you learn. You listen to coaches that coach at a level above you, and that we have a few coaches from the Yankees that's going to be here to talk about different things, better building better player development. So you think about that. That's kind of what we're talking about. Is okay, the perspective of player development from the New York Yankees and the perspective of player development from Meigs High School.
Yeah,
very different
very
worlds. Different. That's what we're talking about. Not saying that Coach Chipka doesn't know what the heck he's talking about.
Exactly. Right.
He obviously is very good.
He's there for a reason.
And when we sit down in those sessions, we're gonna listen and try to pick out things that we can apply to our programs. But at the same time, there is that to learn as well from people at our own level, and that's
right.
That's why you're
right. It's I guess I could say you could say it's more relatable. You can say right.
Yeah.
And there's something to be said about adapting and developing the skill of picking out the things that are valuable to you in your program, even though you're hearing it from someone who really can't relate to where you are.
Right. Well, here's a good one.
But then you adapt it to your program.
Yes. Coach DeGagny. Or Gagna.
I'm glad you're the one having to read these names.
He also New York Yankees. His topic. This is a Friday topic. Friday evening topic: pitching practice, design, and skill acquisition. Think about pitchers at the pro level. They're not taking infield. They're not one of your starting infielders or outfielders when you're playing. They're not hitting. You know what I mean? When you think about pitching practice, design, and acquisition, you're talking about an acquisition, skill acquisition. You're talking about a group that are working on their own. That's a team of pitchers. Yeah. And in a setting. So that's just to try to clarify what we're talking about.
So if you do have a time where you pull pitchers aside, or you have them come to an extra
There's
practice.
things that you can take
There
from
you
that.
go.
That, you know, just
but
small
but
pieces.
if you don't ever do that, then you have to listen to what he's saying and figure out a way to adapt it to your context.
Yep, for sure. I don't see any other. Old Angie Orange, Youngstown State.
Coach Alexander isn't going to be doing anything from Grove City. He went to the state championship a couple years ago with his high school team.
I'm not.
I think he did a session last year, but didn't get. Well, he didn't go to the state championship this year, so didn't get invited back, I guess. I like Ryan, man. He's a good fella. Very energetic. We played a lot of games on his field back before it was a turf field, when Brock was in high school and playing summer travel ball. Played a lot of tournament games up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm not seeing any
got
other
to
ones.
hang with him. So, well, cool. Well, yeah. I mean, that's where we're going. I mean,
This is on the OHSBCA website, or the OHSA. You should be able to find it on the OHSA website too. But if you go to OHSBCA.org, you can quickly find information about not just this clinic, but almost every clinic in the history. You can go and look at the agenda.
Oh, that we've had our state clinics.
Yeah.
Our state, the Ohio State clinics are really cool. I was just telling somebody this morning that it's one of the favorites of these. There's a reason why we were able to get these professional coaches and these college coaches from big time programs to come and speak, because they love it. Mm-hmm. They'll tell you that when they get there and they see the room packed. Mm-hmm. It's not sparsely attended. People are there. You know, guys are wheeling in their own coolers of beer and sitting around those round tables. One coach from, I think, Nebraska a few years ago was like, you guys are drinking out there while I'm talking. He's like, this is the coolest clinic I've ever been to in my life. He said, I want to come back to Ohio, but I just want to sit out there where you are for a little bit. But no, I mean, it's and guys aren't getting sloppy drunk. They're just being their guy. I mean, they're being who they are,
right.
and just hanging out and listening and everything. And then there's the late night smoker session. It starts at 11 o'clock. And
I was going to put
ends whenever you want it to end.
Yeah.
You just, whenever you're done talking, hanging out with guys. If you want to hang out to the wee hours of the morning, then hang out and chat. And yeah, it's I don't know, man. It's
great opportunity.
It's a great opportunity.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, I'm hoping next year I'll be able to spend more time at it for sure. So
there's going to be one way that you can ensure that happening.
How's that to ensure?
You got to stop coaching basketball.
I don't know that ensures it, but that's definitely
that's true. It might not ensure. There are other aspects of life that could get in the way. Of course,
definitely a pathway forward. So
yeah, right. Are you enjoying coaching junior high basketball though? Not to put you on a spot.
No. There's fulfillment in it.
Mm-hmm.
I've
said it before. I actually like coaching that sport.
Basketball's
It
is
is
fun. It's fun.
It's fun to coach.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll admit. I mean, everybody has flavors of what you like and what you don't like. It's my least favorite of the sports that I follow. Right. I mean, basketball as a sport is my least favorite.
Yeah, I don't watch basketball on
yeah.
TV.
I mean, I'm not afraid to admit that. Everybody knows baseball is my favorite, right? But it's fun to coach.
It is.
It is, because you have your hands on a lot of opportunity, a lot of strategy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not bad. But
you like coach. You like yelling at refs.
I really don't.
It's the sport where you yell at the refs the most.
I really don't. Everyone would probably say that they think that because I do, but
I heard you get pretty hot sometimes.
You've heard that?
I heard. I can't believe he doesn't get teed up more than he does.
You did not hear that.
He's got the Gibby factor. He can say Pat Martin can say whatever he wants, and these guys are just going to say, all right.
I'm not that bad. I don't know what this talk's all about. Gee whiz.
Gibby was that way. So the guy that I coached with, a lot of people who listen do know Gibby, but some people don't. Coach Gibson, yeah, I mean, he coached at Athens High School for 26 years baseball, 28 years basketball, a lot of years of coaching, and a lot of officials got to see Gibby. And Gibby has one of those personalities that's just, you could hear his voice from across the campus. When if he shouts something, you're like, oh, there's Gibby.
Well, that's the thing with basketball, because you're yelling regardless. You got to yell.
You had to yell over top of all the other noise.
Yeah, so if you got an angry look on your face, now all of a sudden you're the worst
you're
guy
yelling at him
in the gym.
Yeah. But he could say things to umpires, and I'd be like, "Oh, he's going to get tossed for that," and the guy would just He'd be laughing, shaking his head. Like, how do you get away with that? He's like, I don't know. He knows I hate him. I mean, it's, it's just old school baseball is so much different.
Yeah.
So much different. It's some of those, we got to get somebody from that era in here now that we have video set up, and let them tell stories. We need to get, we've had Gibby on during COVID, but we need to get Gibby in here.
Think he would come in?
Oh, I know he would. Yeah.
I saw Coach Gibson at the, where was he? Was that the Athens girls game?
He is Athens Bulldog. That's who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. He does every conference game on TV for the girls and the boys, as many sports as he can do, as many sports as Nelsonville TV cable will basically promote, and they promote all. They promote everything. They're such good at promoting the sports around here.
It must be. I think it was Athens girls maybe now. No, it was the boys game. Athens came to Meg's. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I saw him.
Yeah, because you were over there sitting with your team. You had your team up there on the.
That's right.
And he was on that side. Yeah.
He didn't come over.
Well, you were too busy mopping up Mountain Dew. Right. Spilled Mountain Dew. So like 12 cans of Mountain Dew got spilled.
That's true. It was a good team building exercise.
Yeah. What do you think? We ready to wrap this baby up?
Time to roll her?
Time to roll it. Roll it out.
Hope everyone enjoyed the conversation. We talked about conversation, really. That's what we're talking about, is just an opportunity for us to go and take part in a conversation. So,
yeah, conversation about conversation.
Yeah. Glad you joined us. Let us know if you have anything you want us to talk about or argue about.
Well, I had an idea here.
Cowboys next week.
I had nope, not for a year.
There's gonna be something happen that we could talk to them about next week.
Oh, there probably will be. I had an idea actually about taking a microphone, taking my Zoom mic, and you know how I said I'm going to sit down with some of these coaches and just pick their brain?
Yeah.
I'm going to see if they care if I record their answers.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And then if they don't mind us using some of their quotes on the podcast, I might do that. So we'll get some material.
Don't tell them that we're funded by ESPN.
And then they'll want a cut.
Right.
They want a cut of it. Yeah.
So. See everyone. Right. I'll try to wear a different shirt next week.
You're good. You're good. You didn't wear the hoodie. That's a new shirt.